大家好，今天是2023年5月23日了。那我在这边的话，每次会找一篇英文的网页啊，先跟大家过一下上面的内容是什么。接着第二阶段的话，我就会自己把里面的内容给朗读出来，然后作为我自己英文口说练习的一部分。好，那今天这个的话跟医学的关系比较大，我也不是很熟，不过我看到了，我就把它放上来，然后稍微浅浅的跟大家过一下里面的内容。title 叫做 What causes high diastolic blood pressure？diastolic blood pressure 就是那个舒张压，就是你在量血压的时候，大概会有个数字，比如说110斜线65，那个65数字比较低的这个数字，那个血压就是我们的舒张压。那这个情况就是在说你的收缩压正常，然后那个舒张压却异常的高，比如说什么110斜线90，收缩压正常，但是舒张压偏高。那大概是这样子，用这个表来看的话，你的收缩压，如果是110的话，但是你的舒张压在90的话，你已经，在高血压 Stage 1到 Stage 2这个范围了，所以这是一个，他们觉得这是一个症状不正常的现象哦，那就是有必要去关注一下啦。那这个成因有很多嘛，很多人会讲的嘛，比如说你的，那叫什么啊？比如说你的什么酒精啦，或者是血脂比较高、抽烟等等的，但是还有很多很常见的因素，比如说遗传、年纪、性别，然后你的先天的一些基因等等的都会影响到你哦。那这边还要写一些其他的症状，会导致你的舒张压过高。Endocrine disorders 这个好像是这个内分泌的问题，然后 renovascular 的话好像是跟你的某部分的血管有关系啊，我看一下，病细胞。哦，你的肾的血管的血压比较高，然后第三个 sleep apnea 就是你的你在睡眠的时候有睡眠呼吸中止的症状的话，也会有这个，也会造成你的舒张压比较高。他们是这样讲的，这个网页是这样讲的。肥胖嘛，刚刚前面讲了酒精，然后还有其他的你比较无法控制的一些因素。那要怎么减轻这些？要怎么去治疗你的舒张压过高这个现象呢？那它就是很多药品，然后还有一些生活作息等等的一些调整，生活习惯的那个修正这样子。好，大概就是这样的一篇文章。那我觉得比较特殊的东西，可能会再去看的话，应该是这个 sleep apnea，就是睡眠呼吸中止症这个。好，我已经放上去了。这个之后来读一下，看一下说它到底呃成因是什么？因为它会造成我们舒张压过高嘛。那血压过高终归不是一件好的现象，所以我们慢慢的去理解它。那另外两个的话，endocrine disorders，可能也会去看一下吧，内分泌失调。不过它的可能这些医学的我就不会解释太深，因为我本身也不是这个背景的哈。好，那今天的内容就是带到这边。那接下来的话就是我自己的朗读的时间了哈。The title is What causes high diastolic blood pressure. High diastolic blood pressure is a type of hypertension. Doctors do not know exactly why it happens. Oh, they don't know it. Okay, but obesity, high triglyceride level, smoking, and alcohol may all contribute. Medication and lifestyle choices can often help manage it. Doctors describe blood pressure using two numbers, systolic and diastolic. They present a reading with the systolic number appearing above the diastolic. Systolic measures the pressure during the heart's contraction, while diastolic is the pressure in the period between heartbeats. The American Heart Association states that people put a lot of emphasis on the systolic number. However, each increase of 10 milliliters of mercury in diastolic pressure amount 40 to 89 doubles the risk of heart disease or stroke. Doctors define isolated diastolic hypertension (IDH), high diastolic blood pressure, as above 80 millimeters of mercury in individuals with normal systolic blood pressure. This article discusses the common causes of high diastolic blood pressure and the risk associated with it, how to prevent high blood pressure, and the treatment options. Causes: if an individual has hypertension, they have an increase in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. However, elevated diastolic blood pressure occurs in isolated diastolic hypertension. Doctors classify stage 1 IDH as a diastolic blood pressure of 80 to 89 millimeter of mercury diastolic blood pressure. They classify stage 2 IDH as diastolic blood pressure above 90 millimeters of mercury. IDH is uncommon and accounts for less than 20% of hypertension cases. Doctors do not understand why an individual may develop diastolic hypertension. They suggest the narrowing of arterioles arterioles causes it due to hormones in the body. Common causes of isolated diastolic hypertension are endocrine disorders, renovascular disorders, sleep apnea. A study demonstrated the link between severe sleep apnea and higher diastolic blood pressure. Oh. However, some potential and preventable causes of IDH also include the following. First is obesity. Doctors usually associate hypertension with obesity. However, they also link being overweight and over obesity to IDH. To reduce the risk of IDH, a person can take steps to reach a moderate weight through diet and exercise. If they find it challenging to make dietary changes or increase physical activity, a doctor can suggest alternative weight management options. Okay, the second factor is alcohol consumption. Some studies show that alcohol consumption contributes to IDH. To help prevent high blood pressure, the AHA recommends that males do not consume more than 2 alcoholic drinks per day, and females no more than 1 alcoholic drinks per day. The AHA states that one drink is either 12 ounces of beer or 4 ounces of wine or 1 ounce of 80 proof spirits or 1 ounce of 100 proof spirits. Research associates smoking with IDH. For example, a study in China found that among individuals aged 90 and over, current or previous heavy smoking increased diastolic blood pressure. Elevated triglycerides, triglycerides of blood fats are another potential cause of IDH that doctors also link to other health risks. Almost 1 in 3 Americans have high triglycerides. When these blood fats are high, they lower good HDL cholesterol. If individuals have elevated blood triglycerides and bad LDL cholesterol, this increases their risk of heart disease and stroke. People can lower their blood triglycerides by making dietary changes. For example, following a Mediterranean style diet rich in oily fish, fruit, vegetables, and whole grains may help reduce blood triglycerides, and IDH. Risk factors. There are certain risk factors for high diastolic blood pressure that a person cannot control. They include age. Diastolic hypertension is more common in people under 50 years of age. IDH is rare in senior adults. Next is family history. Having family members with hypertension increases an individual's risk of IDH. Next is cardiovascular events. If an individual has experienced an incident that damaged the heart muscle, this increases their risk of IDH. Next, diabetes. People with diabetes and raised blood sugar levels may be more likely to develop IDH. Next, hypothyroidism. Around 30% of individuals with low thyroid hormone levels have IDH. Next, kidney disease. Individuals with chronic kidney disease may also have IDH. The last is biological sex. In a large 2019 study of almost 2.5 million participants, researchers found that the prevalence of IDH was significantly higher for males at 4.5 of the overall population compared to males at 2.2%. The next paragraph is heart risks. If an individual has normal systolic blood pressure, lowering the diastolic blood pressure can affect the brain's blood flow regulation, leading to a stroke. According to a study, researchers associated IDH with an increased risk of subsequent cardiovascular events. IDH increases an individual's risk of various health conditions, including heart disease, heart attack, heart failure, and aneurysm, arterial fibrillation, or peripheral arterial disease. Last paragraph I'm reading today. High diastolic pressure symptoms. Often elevated diastolic pressure does not cause notable symptoms, and a large 2019 study found that many people were unaware of they have IDH. Out of 351,000 and 35 participants, 3.2% have IDH. Over 86% were untreated, and only 10.3% of these individuals were aware they had elevated blood pressure. The AHA notes that the common belief that high blood pressure will cause sweating, facial flushing, or a feeling of nervousness is a myth. Not real. However, a person should seek emergency medical attention if they experience the following symptoms. They could indicate a serious complication of IDH, such as a heart attack or stroke, chest pain, breathing difficulties, lightheadedness, sudden onset of weakness, speech changes, loss of consciousness.好，今天的内容就阅读到这边，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。